Good day. Welcome to VideoPR. Here with me today is Mr. Danny Wettreich. He's the CEO of GreenBank Capital, and he's here to talk to us about the company's activities and about the Bitcoin market in general. So welcome, Danny.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Now, you've been on a road trip across Canada, even to Toronto, Montreal, Calgary. You're now here in Vancouver. Must be getting a little bit of jet lag here. But as far as I know, GreenBank is the first company to really get seriously involved in the Bitcoin market. And tell us, how is your story being received?
Well, it's actually very exciting. We are the first public company to be involved in the Bitcoin space. And we've established two subsidiaries, that one of which is going to be investing purely in Bitcoin as a long-term investment, and one which will invest in Bitcoin startups. So we'll be financing startups on a worldwide basis, not specifically in Canada. And Bitcoin is a very exciting space. There's been a lot of talk about it, a lot of people getting into the space, and it's generated a lot of interest. You know, we had a meeting yesterday afternoon. There were 110 people in the room, and there was a lot of excitement.
Yes, I was there. It was full.
Yeah, it was full.
Now, you mentioned that it is global, of course, and
yes.
So it's not just local to Canada, but
right.
This is where you are. Maybe for those who aren't completely familiar with what cryptocurrencies are, maybe you could just tell us a little bit what a Bitcoin is.
Sure. Well, Bitcoin was started 4 years ago by a programmer supposedly called Satoshi, but we don't know if that's a person. We don't really know if that's a person or a group of programmers or what. But whoever this mysterious individual is, he created a tremendous software program that basically created an independent currency. It's a currency that is maintained and created digitally. All the transactions that occur in the currency, using the currency, are recorded in what's called a blockchain. Everybody who buys or uses a Bitcoin has that transaction recorded on the blockchain, but it's anonymous. So I can send you a Bitcoin in payment for some services. I know that you have it, you know that I sent it to you, but no one else knows what it is.
If I want to send money to my son in Africa, I don't have to go through an exchange or a bank? Or
no, you just have to have what's called a Bitcoin wallet. So you have to have a wallet where you have some Bitcoin. He has to have a wallet to receive the Bitcoin. Beyond that, it's a pretty straightforward process, and it takes minutes. Doesn't go through the banking system. Neither of you need bank accounts.
It's on the internet.
It's on the internet.
So tell me, what's wrong with regular currency? We've got dollars, we've got yen, we got all these. Why cryptocurrency?
Well, paper currency is a problem. You know, governments pay off debt by printing paper.
Inflation.
Inflation. You know, the dollar in our lifetime, certainly my lifetime, has dropped by 95%. Wow. You know, that's a serious hit to your purchasing power. Bitcoin is not affected by any government or central bank money printing. So it's a safe haven for inflationary currencies. That's a big deal. The other factor is that Bitcoin has the advantage of, in most cases, not being in a position of being part of the currency control mechanism. So, for example, if you're a Chinese citizen and you want to send some value to your cousin in California, you can do so by simply having a wallet, even on a mobile phone, and sending that Bitcoin to him. It bypasses all the currency control systems because it's not regarded by the Chinese government as a currency they need to regulate. And that's a pretty interesting scenario.
Yeah.
The other major thing is that there are millions and millions of people worldwide who do not have a bank account.
Right.
You don't need a bank account to have a Bitcoin transaction.
You need a little app and
need a mobile phone. That'll do it.
Well, it'll be really interesting to see how the market evolves and grows. Now, you said, excuse me, before that you were investing in startups.
Yes.
And I see that there's a press release that you recently took a position in Sovereign Exchange International, for example.
Right.
Tell me about that and what other acquisitions or other things you think that you'll be investing in.
Well, the subsidiary that acquired 20% of Sovereign Exchange, which we now renamed the Sovereign Bitcoin Exchange,
okay.
Is Bitcoin Angel Capital, and its focus will be to identify and invest in small Bitcoin businesses. We will incubate them, we will nurse them along, we'll provide them the capital and some of the management expertise that a lot of them may be missing, and help them grow to a certain level that we can then maybe one day take them public if they're very successful. So that kind of diversified portfolio of Bitcoin investments is what we're offering to our shareholders and potential shareholders.
And they need support when they're starting up.
They need support, yeah. Most of these companies are small businesses, but we're talking about a worldwide phenomenon because there are so many potential ways to improve and add on to the Bitcoin network. There's a whole slew of exciting new businesses that are coming up, and most of them are being created and designed by young guys who need some business experience and some
help.
help.
The entire Bitcoin thing is a startup.
It is, in many ways. But, it's a phenomenon because, it's been in existence for 4 years and has increased in price every single year by 10 times, which is extraordinary. And last year, 2013, in US dollar terms, it increased from a starting price of $19 in January, and it breached $1,200 at one point in December of last year.
Well, now to that, because I was at the presentation the other day here, and there was a couple of very interesting statements from some very serious people in financial markets. I think that, and you were saying that, correct me if I'm wrong, it could go 10 to 100 times its value.
That's right. There was a research report done by a very well-respected investment banking house called Wedbush, and they produced a report, and one of the things they concluded was that Bitcoin has the potential of increasing in value by between 10 and 100 times, depending on how much worldwide usage it gets.
And I think this is important too. It really struck me that it's really inflation. It can't be inflation.
Bitcoin is effectively
a certain amount of
digital gold. It has the same attributes as gold, but it has other attributes too. Basically, gold you invest in, and you do it primarily for long-term appreciation and the avoidance of the inflationary problem that fiat currencies produce. Bitcoin has those same attributes, but it has other things. You can use it as a currency in a very inexpensive way. I mean, for example, everybody knows that if you send a wire transfer from, say, Canada to any location in the world, say Australia, it'll probably go through 6 different banking hands. It'll take 7 to 10 days, and everybody charges a fee, right? With Bitcoin, if both parties have a wallet, it takes a few minutes. The fees are infinitesimally small. And we're talking about trillions of dollars worth of bank fees that will be saved simply by saving on money transfer charges. The potential is enormous.
I'm sure we could talk about this all day, and I'm sure that you have a lot more to tell us. We'll continue to follow this story and keep in touch with you. You're going to be going to the resource conference here this weekend?
Yes, we have a booth at the resource conference in Vancouver, and we'll be there for a couple of days and hope to meet and greet a lot of current investors and new investors.
All right. Any more stops along the way before you get back home?
No, I think we're done with the tour. I mean, I've been on a plane and multiple cities for a while, so I'm trying to explain to a lot of investors what Bitcoin's about and how GreenBank fits into it. We think we have a very exciting investment proposition. We're in fact raising $5 million in a convertible debenture offering to accredited investors, and also pointing out to those investors who aren't accredited that if they want to get into the Bitcoin space, we offer an opportunity to do so. They can simply buy our stock. We're listed on the CSE. Our symbol is GBC, and that's a very easy way to get into the space.
Well, great. Well, thank you for this.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.
We'll keep following the story, and if you want to know more information about GreenBank and the Bitcoin market, GreenBank, the website is
GreenBankCapitalInc.com.
We'll put it along the bottom here. Thank you very much for your time, and yours as well.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.